Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all honor, all praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Arachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations unto the for elect tabernacle of David that are scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. Now, before I play this video clip, just to throw a disclaimer to, YouTube, this is all allegedly. But we're definitely going to tap a little bit into what is being theorized based on activities that was detected, a week or so before this ice storm came in, this big winter storm, all right, where a lot of people are being affected right now by this cold, and a lot of people that are without power. And, I've mentioned before when talking about this, I said I wouldn't put it past this devil, taking advantage and, manipulating, this weather to cause what it's causing in the atmosphere. Another way that he can, utilize his power on the left-hand side to, cause a lot of disability, vulnerability, and this devil, he can, he can wage war against the people while they're down and out. Made me think back to when Yahushai, when he was prophesying about the siege of Jerusalem, he said, pray that your flight be not in the winter. So people under this type of weather, you're definitely going to be vulnerable and disabled. I'm not saying that, they're going to carry out something, but, this, anytime we see this type of atmospheric extreme weather patterns, we know not to trust, this devil and his left-hand abilities. We know that he's known for manipulating the weather using, weather modification technology. He can flood out cities using what they call cloud seeding. All right, earthquakes, hurricanes. He can do it all right now. So we can't, like the scriptures say, lest Satan should get an advantage of us. We're not ignorant of his devices. All right, so I just want to make that clear, and then we just get into the video, and then of course we'll get some scriptures. But it's going to be a lot of this kind of activity going on, because this devil, he's at it, he's on the clock. The devil shall come down unto you having great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time. So let's get into it. This woman here, she's going to explain some, very interesting, suspicious activities that was going on prior to the storm coming. So let's listen real quick. Here we go.
I don't think it's any coincidence that just before this historic ice storm is about to hit the United States Air Force has been flying some super strange flight patterns. This is not normal. This is not normal. This is not normal. These planes are the KC-135 Stratotanker, a military aircraft that's primarily used for aerial refueling. But it can also be used for geoengineering, also known as weather modification. The Stratotanker can do stratospheric aerial injection, which involves releasing reflective particles into the atmosphere to cool the planet. This is no coincidence that this is all happening just before this giant ice storm is about to hit the entire United States.
This is all the produce, the chemtrail produce of USAF Stratotankers flying in circles in patterns.
Now I wonder, like all the snow that these people are getting, you know, I remember a few, you know, years back when they had the polar vortex. Some people took some of the ice or you know, balls of snow, and they would take it into their kitchen and try to burn it, and the shit wouldn't burn. So I wonder if anybody has you know, tried to experiment with that and see what, you know, what happens. But you know, it's not hard to believe that, you know, these devils would, you know, do this. You know, this is what they've been known to do. You know, when you give the devil left hand power, he's gonna weaponize and use anything as a tool of destruction. Okay, let me get real quick. Let's go to let's go to Revelation 6:4 real quick. Yeah, Revelation 6 verse 4 says, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword." All right. You know, a killing instrument, anything that he can use as an instrument of death. And it's been a lot of weather warfare over the last, you know, decade plus. Okay. And you know, he's in that mode of war. All right. He wants to see death and destruction, which the Lord said that there would be, you know, famine, the sword, death, and destruction. All right. And, you know, we can't just give all of the credit to Esau. All right. The Most High is the one who gave him that power, which is why when you read Micah 2, it tells you that kind of power is given into their hand. Micah 2:1, it says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." And I'm pretty sure that word power is Allah. All right, Allah. So they have that kind of power on the left hand side. All right, it says when the day dawns in the morning, they practice it. And the Hebrew word is Aisha. And it says to do, fashion, accomplish, make, to do, work, make, produce, to act with effect. You know, so they bring it to effect, you know, with their left hand power. And you have power to manipulate the weather, that's power. You're using it for warfare because you want to, you know, reduce a population, or you want to, you know, do damage so that you can actually control the region. You know, you want to see people in a vulnerable state. So, yeah, they cause it to come to pass. They put it into effect because it's in their power. Okay. So, hey, this is he who's coming is after the working of Shaitan. You know, with all power, signs, and lying wonders. And then something made me just look this up, because she mentioned about them using some type of particles that they release, right? And I just typed this and I said, sulfate to cool atmosphere. That's what I asked Google in an AI overview. It says injecting sulfate aerosols, which is the particles, into the stratosphere acts as a sunscreen for Earth, reflecting sunlight and temporarily cooling the atmosphere to combat global warming. Modeled after volcanic eruptions, this solar geoengineering method could scatter solar radiation, but carry significant risks, including ozone layer depletion, disrupted precipitation patterns, and potential ecological damage. So this man, he's just gonna just continue to destroy the earth, just to accomplish, his evil, wicked agendas, man. So that's why the Lord, another reason why the Lord got to come back and deal with this man. It's Revelation 11:18. It says, and the nations were angry, especially when the Lord comes back and he takes them down, subdues them. It says, the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And that's all this man knows how to do, is just destroy. So you got a madman that's in power, and this is what they do. They're a danger to humanity and even to themselves. So just think about all the animals, all right, that's at risk under this type of weather. Of course, we can't forget about the elderly and even little children. So this is crazy, man. But they're saying allegedly that there were patterns of circular motion from these type of planes by the Air Force, and they were possibly dropping these type of chemicals in the stratosphere. Okay. So if this is in fact true, then hey, this man is proven who we've been saying he is. Okay. So let me go here now.
Safe to say something's going on here. I'm on a flight path, and this is not the normal route that these jets take over my house. And there's the sun over there being blocked out.
All right. So they saying that this is pretty strange, and this was right before it started to come in. All right, he said he lived on a flight path, and this is not normal to have this many flights in this area in a very short amount of time. They're prepping the atmosphere for this. The weather. It was mostly sunny before they swung by. So this devil has what it takes to block out the sun, which they've been wanting to do. Bill Gates, he funded a project a while ago where he wants to, block out the sun. All right, when the earth, we need the sun. All right, the trees, the plants, they need sun for with the process of photosynthesis. And this devil, he wants to say, nah, it's global warming. We need to come on now. It's winter time. So what do you need to block the sun for? So yeah, this man is at it, man. So let me go from there. Let me get this in the book of Psalm. Yeah, Psalm 10 and 15, it says, break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. So the more this devil does, the more it is going to be found out. And, Yahweh Shai said it best. There's nothing hidden that should not be made manifest. And this is also why he wants to, regulate the internet, censor it, take away anonymity. This is why they want to they want to track your every move and, gather all information into this database. They want to know what your search history is, what you're looking up on the internet, on the web, what you're posting, what you're sharing, what you're liking. They want all that because his cover keeps getting blown. Luke 8:17, it says, "For nothing is secret, thou shalt not be made manifest, neither anything hid, that shall not be known and come abroad." We're in the information age, man. Everything you do, people are going to catch wind, people are going to seek it out, and it'll get exposed. This devil, he is exposed, and that's why he's angry with the world, because all his wickedness is going to start catching up to him. So he on the mission. All right. So I'm pretty sure several states are under a state of emergency. People are advised to stay in their homes. I'm pretty sure there's been some people that have been frozen, froze to death by now if they haven't. So far brothers are saying that they're straight. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, they make it all the way through. But yeah, this devil he's at it, man. Make no mistake about it, Satan takes no breaks. All right. And I'm pretty sure this is all planned out. Proverbs 24. In Proverbs 24:8, it says, "He that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person." And that's his man all the way. Proverbs 4:16 says, "For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall." And especially you want to see people weakened and vulnerable, and then he can act like he's coming in to save the day and rescue you. After he causes the issue. All right, it tells you that in Sirach, the 12th chapter, which is why it says, "Never trust thine enemy." That he'll try to come and once you dealing with some type of adversity, you'll find him right there offering help. But really, he's just trying to weaken you. All right. Yeah, this is Sirach 12 and verse 17. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet he shall undermine thee. All right. They'll try to come with FEMA and these different agencies to act like they're on a rescue to help people, but we already know how that goes down. Remember, was it South Carolina about a year ago with the hurricane and FEMA, and how people were talking about how FEMA was deterring aid that was coming to help those people in that town that got flooded. And then, they fenced it up because obviously it was something that they was working on over there, and they didn't want any more people over there. So Esau is willing to do whatever, man, to take what he want. It's that part of that evil covetousness, because his desire is as hell and he's as death and can never be satisfied. So, he's when he act like he's trying to help you, he's really trying to undermine you. All right. The word undermine, it means to lessen the effectiveness, power, or ability. Make you weaker. Erode the base or foundation of, erode, wear away. And then down here it says lessen the effectiveness, power, or ability of, especially gradually or insidiously. To subvert, sabotage, threaten, weaken, compromise, especially like your health, your immune system, everything under that kind of weather, it compromises, your health, man. People are vulnerable to flus and, you know, sicknesses, viruses under this type of weather with all the moisture. And then you had the whole chemical situation over the skies in California and really on the West Coast. And they was telling people to, you know, stay inside. Why was that happening while this winter storm was coming? Knowing that the combination of chemicals and toxins with all that moisture, it all got to basically descend down onto the earth. But people got to breathe it in. So it's a lot of activity, you know, happening right now, man. And that's why we got to continue to pray without ceasing. All right. This man is really trying to, he's weakening the earth. All right. Diminish, reduce, impair. Down here it says damage, hurt, injure, cripple, disable. Yeah. And that's why the earth is suffering under the inhabitants thereof. Isaiah 24. And they'll try to blame it on regular human activity and not they self. They don't even take accountability. They blame, you know, common civilians for why this weather is the way it is. Nah, man. Isaiah 24, and I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, the earth dries up and crumbles away. The world dries out and crumbles away. You know, all the oil all the fracking, you know, it's causing all this reaction in the earth. It says, the exalted of the people of the earth fade away. The earth also is polluted by its inhabitants because they have transgressed laws, violated statutes, and broken the everlasting covenant. You know, and Esau's the main one. You know, the earth was given into his hand, and you see the power that he has, and this is how he's handling things. So we all are being affected, and as a result, we all got to suffer it. So, you know, it is of the Lord's mercies that we're not consumed. And if the Lord don't shorten the days, there will be no flesh to be saved. But for the elect, the days are going to be shortened. So stuff is going to start moving fast. You know, we pray that the Lord, you know, comes back, you know, very soon. It says, therefore a curse devours the earth, and those who live on it suffer the punishment of their guilt. You know, it's mainly, you know, the powers that be that are sending these evil, you know, people to do their dirty deeds. You know, because they act like, you know, we can't see it. The Lord said, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord. That says, who seeth me? The Lord sees it. He sees it every. Look, the Most High's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So he sees it everything. His eyes are in every place, beholding the good and the evil. So you devils that are in those planes, every time these type of occurrences happen, yeah, the Lord's looking right at you. All right. When you're using the cloud seeding, whoever's operating it, the Lord sees you. It says, therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burned under the curse of the Most High's wrath, and few people are left. You know, so we just got to continue to pray, man, that the Lord comes soon. But yeah, this, you know, it makes sense. You know, but we're gonna keep it alleged though. All right, but I wouldn't put it past this devil, man. All right, go look up that movie, Weather Wars. You know, just look at the trailer. All right, they know how to manipulate or geoengineer this weather to make it worse than, you know, it could be naturally. So I'm gonna end on that, and hopefully y'all were edified. Let me give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Until the next one, Shalom.